Do you love traveling but don't have the company to travel? Or do you have company to travel but prefer traveling solo? I know exactly how you feel because I was all of 20 when I took an overnight bus to Hampi to know exactly what solo traveling feels like. Cut to 4 years later, I've been to over 15 cities in India all by myself. In fact, I'm on a solo trip right now as we speak, all alone. Of course, I had to convince my parents because when you're traveling, safety always comes first. And that's why I'm giving you a list of top 5 places in India that are easy and safe to get started with solo traveling. Let's go.
Number 1 on my list is Rishikesh. Why Rishikesh? I visited Rishikesh in the month of March and I absolutely fell in love with it. It's safe, the locals are friendly, and it's also a very popular destination for solo travelers. So chances are you'll meet a lot of them.
नाम क्या आपका? नाम क्या आपका?
मेरा नाम संतोष गिरी जमुना अखाड़ा.
Now, how to get to Rishikesh? Closest airport is Jolly Grant in Dehradun, from where Rishikesh is just 35 kilometers away. Or you can also travel via rail through Haridwar. For stay, there are many hostels that you can pick from. I had picked Coast Stops, which was in Lakshman Jhula. Also try staying either at Lakshman Jhula or Tapovan since it is the epicenter to everything. Now coming to things to do here, there are many things to do in Rishikesh since it's the adventure capital of India and the yoga capital of the world. So you have both extremes. I tried India's highest bungee jumping spot, which also happens to be in Rishikesh. Check it out. That was one hell of a plunge. Now moving on to my next destination, which is Goa. Why Goa? Because there's so much to do in Goa, plus it's a very popular tourist destination. So you're never really alone. You'll always be surrounded by people, especially solo travelers from all around the world. And because of how popular it is, I don't need to explain how to get there. But there are budget options like taking a bus if you're in Mumbai or somewhere close, or even a train. Shouldn't take you more than 12 hours. Moving on to stay options. Now in Goa, there are many stay options ranging from hostels to homestays, even service apartments and Airbnbs. I stayed at a hostel which costed me just under 700 rupees per night. Things to do in Goa, you can always do the conventional, but when I visited, I ventured into the deep forests of Goa, swam in its secluded turquoise blue waters, and tasted local food like never before.
So we're finally here, and forget Goa. This is something I have never seen in my entire life anywhere.
This beautiful waterfall is about 15 feet deep, जहाँ पे आप swimming, climbing और cliff jumping कर सकते हो. The water is so crystal clear और मैंने सच में कभी इतनी blue stream मेरी life में नहीं देखी. It almost felt like a dream. Speaking of water, let's move on to our next beachy destination, which is Pondicherry. Why Pondi? Pondi is safe, tourist friendly, really aesthetic and pretty, and the people are very calm and helpful, especially if you visit Auroville. Here's how to get to Pondicherry.
Flight से आप Pondicherry directly आ सकते हो or land at Chennai airport and then come to Pondi, which is a roughly 3-hour journey. Chennai airport से आप बस ले सकते हो to Pondicherry either via Coimbatore bus stop or Guindy bus stop. Travel tip: opt for Guindy Metro since it's cheaper and it takes you lesser time.
Moving on to places to stay at Pondi, unfortunately there are lesser hostel options, just about 2 decent ones that I know of, which are Mikasa and Nomad House. Pondicherry has more of heritage hotels and villas that you can stay at, which charge anywhere between 1 to 5,000 or even 7,000 per night. Things to do here: you can visit White Town, try the food, explore the cafes, the beaches, explore Auroville, and also try scuba diving at Temple Adventures. Here's how my experience went. अगर आपको याद है जिंदगी ना मिलेगी दोबारा में कैटरीना कैफ ने कहा था, स्कूबा डाइविंग नशा जैसी नहीं पर मेडिटेशन जैसी है, एंड दैट्स एग्जैक्टली हाउ आई फेल्ट. Sounds a little cheesy, but swimming with these fishes made me respect the marine life like so much more. My first dive into the sea was in Pondicherry. But my first dive ever into solo traveling was at Hampi. And that's destination number 4. Why Hampi? 80% of all solo travelers start their solo travel at Hampi. Of course, that's a made-up statistic, but most solo travelers that I know of have started with Hampi. Hampi is budget-friendly, simplistic, and also very safe. It also attracts a lot of young crowd, even from overseas, who often also come solo. Hampi is a remote village, so it doesn't have any airport or railway station. But the closest bus stop or station is at Horsepet. You can either take a bus or rickshaw from Horsepet to come to Hampi, which shouldn't take you more than 30 minutes. Now for stay options. Not a lot of hostels that I know of in Hampi that are still functional, considering that Hippie Island is broken down. You do have options of staying in homestays and other budget-friendly places. I stayed at Whispering Rocks, which cost me $999 per night. Now, things to do in Hampi. You can explore Hampi's ruins, which could take you the entire day. Explore Hampi's natural beauty like cliff jumping, riding in a coracle or the circular boats. And the best and my favorite part, bouldering. If you've been to Hampi, you'd see a lot of boulders around. They don't really have mountains or hills. They're just small assorted pieces of rocks around. Bouldering एक adventure sport है, which is basically rock climbing without any harness or support. You use your hand, core and leg strength to climb up, of course with a mattress below in case आप नीचे गिर जाते हो, and some powder on your hands for grip. A must-do thing in Hampi, especially since it has so many boulders to offer. And lastly, my favorite place ever is Gokarna. Why Gokarna? Gokarna is safe, quiet, calm and secluded. I stayed in Gokarna for a month and I can assure you that I could step out at any time. That's how safe it was. Of course, avoid doing that when you're traveling solo. Gokarna is 3 hours away from Goa, so you can either travel via Goa or you can travel via train to Gokarna Road railway station. Or you can even take an overnight sleeper bus like I did from Mumbai, or even from Bangalore. Moving on to hostels, you are spoiled for choice at the number of hostels here. My personal favorite is Zostel, which costs anywhere between 700 to 1000 per night. You can also opt for homestays, camps and even resorts. Now, things to do, there are plenty. You can explore Gokarna's beaches, try water sports at Kudli Beach and enjoy their breathtaking sunsets. You can also try other destinations like Yana Caves, Mirjan Fort, Honey Beach that are near to Gokarna. Also, Gokarna has some amazing cafes. Check this one out.
So in total contrast to what I was eating in the morning, which was local breakfast, now I'm eating international lunch. So I'm tasting multiple cuisines already.
Eating solo is one of the best parts about traveling alone. In fact, for all people who are looking to travel solo, going to restaurants and movies alone is a great start to being more comfortable in your own company. And that's all, girls and guys. This is my list for all the places that you should try solo traveling in. Abhi idhar udhar mat dekho, see this as a sign to travel solo more. And all the best with your advent and journey into solo traveling. Let me know in the comments how it goes. Until then, it's me, Neha Nambiar, signing out.